when I went home to Alabama, we had Ron Babcock on our show recently, but then also in 2014, and he mentioned that the worst show he did on his tour was in Auburn, and it was ruined by a nefarious ne'er-do-well named Roadkill. Who is a man who has a bunch of squirrels living in his pockets. And
to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that because Bob Ross did too. So
straight up, prove to me you're not describing Mr. Goodnight.
I don't let animals live in my pockets.
And he would.
They can visit, but they are guests in my pants.
I got cable up in there.
You got stolen cable in your pockets
and in my pants in the sand.
Yeah, but doesn't he like roll joints made out of shake on a
on a plate.
I like this guy already. I'm sorry I ruined your show, Ron, but can you get me this guy's phone number?
What kind of collector plate is it? Is it like
well, it's a Jesus. It's a plate that your grandmother might hang on the wall with Jesus on it, except that he has given Jesus a Confederate foraging hat, 2 flintlock pistols, and has a Confederate flag where the heart usually goes in the middle of his chest.
I've never been in love with a man until now.
And I think this might be the only acceptable usage of the Confederate flag.
Well, he's rolling a joint on it. You understand?
Yeah. We're putting a lot of layers of irony on this.
The first time I ever met him was when he told me I was born on a screamed-in porch. That was his introduction to me. And I know we're making this sound like a fun guy. He's fucking terrifying. Like, he's real sketchy. So I got
this. This is a real switchblade. My friend snuck it in from Mexico. One of those guys.
I would think the biggest problem with this guy might be rabies.
Yeah, probably so. And I was back home, and we were hanging out at a bar. The bar is called Fish Shizzles, Fish and Scrimps.
I mean,
is this a dyslexic kind of place or something?
Someone at City Hall had to write on a business license, Fish Shizzles, Fish and Scrimps. S-K-R-I-M-P-S.
It's just amazing that there's also a Snoop Dogg pun in there, because it does not seem like where you'd find that.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm a champion of small business, so those sorts of things can come into fruition.
Yeah, like Linda McMahon.
Come into fruizzle.
Yeah, fruizzle.
But we're sitting at Fish Shizzles, and here's how bad the situation in my hometown has gotten. Fish Shizzles is the good bar now.
Oh, no.
Like, our bar's gone, so the one we used to go to, so now we go to Fish Shizzles, and I'm sitting there, and then just, blowing in the Alabama breeze is just a very specific combination of smells of whiskey and body odor, and I'm like, oh, God, Roadkill's right behind me, isn't he? And I turn around, and he's just already in a monologue.
Nice.
Because Roadkill will just show up and talk to no one forever.
Right.
And so while I was sitting there, he's just like, well, then goddamn my bike is broken, it's been broken for 5 years. He's just going, and I'm about his broken bike, and I'm just like trying to have a conversation with my friends who I haven't seen in a year. But I was catching certain bits of his conversations. I started texting Babcock. I was like, hey, the guy who ruined your show in Auburn? He's sitting right next to me, and he's a nut. And so I just texted him. So these were the things I picked up. At one point he goes, when's the last time you wrestled an alligator? And then when there's no response to that, because it's indeed a rhetorical question, it turns out, when's the last time you wrestled an alligator? When's the last time you raised a vulture up from scratch and he targets your ass while you're on the bicycle?
Well, his name is Roadkill.
Right. Yeah. And I had never put that shit together until that moment. I was like, is he Roadkill because he has vultures? Like, is he?
Yeah.
This is a tale of betrayal. He raised it up from scratch, and it turned on him.
Scratch, like how you make biscuits. Yeah. Yeah, you raised it up from scratch, and then it did turn on him.
This is how you repay me?
This is all I've ever done to you.
After I saved you from that gator?
Yeah.
Judas!
And two buzzard.
You damn flying Judas Iscariot.
Judas is a scary bird.
I had that egg uncomfortably up my ass for 14 days while it incubated.
Didn't have to. Would have been fine elsewhere.
We made a soul connection.
I'm a method bird, Dad.
Oh my God. But yeah, he that was one of them. And then at a certain point he goes, that is not what I call shrapnel.
Volume 12.
Rancid, Lit Bizkit, Sublime. Now that's what I call shrapnel. And then also just to no one, surf's up, dude.
Which, given that you're in Alabama, can't imagine it was.
Yeah, no, not in that part of the state anyway.
I kind of like this guy still. I mean, can we get him on the show if he promises not to bring any animals in here?
I
He can promise whatever he wants. He's bringing animals in.
Or can we get him to call in then?
Yeah. I don't know if he's not the kind of guy who has a phone.
Imagine trying to explain Skype to this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the kind of guy who has a dime? He could call in by payphone.
Oh, that's true. Maybe so. 10, 10, 220. He's the last person using that.
Tile down the middle and hope he's not in a knife fight. Spoiler alert, he is.
Can't talk right now. I'm in a knife fight.
I hope we can. I can do both. Roadkill know how to multitask.
Get back, Vulture.
They're all turning on me. One man stands alone.
This is the Alamo of buzzards.
Remember the parking lot of the CVS? Just punching birds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.